Hi, my name is Kerry Critchlow from RCR Recording Studios. So I'm just kind of thinking out loud here today, and I know the light's a little different than some of my other videos, and my head is blending in very well with the background, but, you got to do what you gotta do, I guess. Anyways, it occurred to me that, and this occurred to me a long time ago, but I felt it maybe bared mentioning today, that it turns out that I hear differently than other people. Now, this might seem obvious to some, and it might be a shock to others. It was certainly a shock to me when I realized it, but I hear things differently than other people do. I'm not saying this to toot my own horn. Everybody hears things differently, and I'm not trying to come down or fire shots at anybody because they don't hear the same way I do. But when I listen to music, I hear things that the average person does not hear. And probably, I would imagine, maybe incorrectly, that the average person probably doesn't know what a kick drum is, or what a bass guitar sounds like, or what a snare sounds, or the difference even between maybe, say, an 808 kick and an acoustic kick drum, also called a bass drum. They may not know what a hi-hat or a snare is. Now, they'll listen to music and they will hear that those things are happening in a song, but they may not know what they're called. They may not realize that they're actually even hearing it, because the average person just hears music differently. They kind of tend to hear the music as a whole, whereas I tend to hear the music both as a whole, but also its individual pieces. I hear, the guitar parts or multiple guitar parts in a song. I hear the underlying pads. I hear, the difference between what the kick and the snare are doing, or things like that. I'm hearing the difference in what chords are being played, and even how to pick out what chords they are to some degree. I'm not an expert at that as some people are, but I am better than maybe your average person at it. And again, I'm not trying to brag, I'm just trying to be honest here, realizing that there are many people who are much better at it than I am. Just as I'm probably better at it than average people. And that should come as no surprise to most people because it's what I spend my life doing. Why am I saying all of this? Well, largely it's because when the average person hears music, they don't tend to hear all the little nuances. And that shocked me at first when I heard this. I mean, even average musicians don't tend to hear the little details in music that I focus and spend a lot of time working on to try and bring out and finagle into a whole when I'm doing mixing and recording. I'm trying to take all these individual abstract parts and put them together in a pleasing way that most people don't even realize they're hearing, but at the end of the day, I think that it is appreciated, because it's kind of what gives every song its unique sort of vibe, its own kind of substance. And it was shocking to me when I realized this, because for the longest time I just thought, everybody hears the things I hear and hears it the same way. But, turns out people's ears are shaped differently. Turns out that people aren't focused on all aspects of the music. Guitar players often tend to be focused on what the guitars are playing. Drummers tend to be focused on what drums are playing. And so I'm in a unique position, relatively unique position anyways, to be able to kind of hear how everything should be kind of coming together as a whole. And I think that's what separates good producers and engineers from, average Joes. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I have the patience and willingness to sit and listen to music for hours and hours and hours on end and dig into those little details where I think most people would probably get bored after a while of that. And this did not come by accident. I spent years really honing it, listening very carefully to music, because I started off just like anyone else, just kind of hearing the music again as a whole, as it's kind of presented to me. Another thing that kind of I'll probably dig into on a future video, is about how I'm not just hearing what is there, I'm also hearing what it could be, or and sometimes in my more brilliant, or you may say arrogant phases, what it should be. For instance, I can hear an acoustic guitar and a vocal, and I can hear what the drums should be playing. I can hear what the bass guitar should be doing. I can hear the other instrumentation and how that could all come together. And it's my job to sort of bring all of that together and unify it into a cohesive whole that the end listener is going to hopefully listen to and enjoy. And so I guess I'm trying to say that I have a relatively unique skill set that I use to help people I work with, and maybe one day you'll be one of those people, to help bring some of their to bring their music to life and have it be potentially even better than they thought it could be in the first place. Maybe you're an artist out there who has just a piano or an acoustic guitar or what have you, some instrument, and you write songs and you think they're good, but you have no idea what to do with them. Well, if you bring them to me, I can guarantee you that I will have some ideas, and I can help you take those songs and turn them into something that the average person maybe doesn't have the foresight to see. And I can get more into this kind of thing in a future video, but today is just kind of thinking out loud again and trying to figure out how what I do can relate to how it relates to other people in the world, and realize that we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And one of my strengths, again, as humbly as I can say this, is to hear things that most people don't hear, and I can hear kind of how to turn an average kind of not even an average, that's probably the wrong way to say it. I could take an acoustic demo of a guitar and a vocal, or a piano and a vocal, and I can create a full-blown track out of it. So, I don't know. I guess I say all that to say, hopefully, if you decide that you ever want to take that next step and turn your music into something bigger and better than perhaps you thought it could be, I'm here to help at RCR Recording Studios. So, with that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.